The Legendary Bloatfly is a joke, and you're the punchline. Not too long ago, I showed you how to get a metaphorical swatter and beat the strongest enemy in the game at the lowest possible level, with ease. So I think that I've earned the rights to use it in battle.
Arise.
I'll put a link in the description in case you've missed it. This unassuming bug lives in a miscellaneous cave over at the Big Empty, and nothing even comes close to its 2000 health points, or its 300 damage plasma attack. If you get too close, be careful, cause its melee attack deals 450 damage. Oh, and if you somehow defeat it, run, cause it will explode, just to try and ruin your day one final time. And so, can you beat Fallout New Vegas using only the Legendary Bloatfly? A tickle to the brain and a weird dream later, and yes, of course, yes. It would take a real-world catastrophe to prevent you from doing so. Since your stepsister's not stuck in a washing machine, the tale of Chunky Boy begins. The stats I'm gonna go with are meaningless: 10 in endurance, charisma, and intelligence, 7 perception, and 1 in everything else. I tagged lockpick, medicine, and speech as my starting skills and took on good-natured and skills as traits. Doc Mitchell handed me my belongings. I took and crafted a couple healing items before leaving, and I'll be using the JIP Companion's Command and Control mod to force recruit the Legendary Bloatfly after spawning it. We immediately see a plasma attack, so I make a move, and why was there an explosion? You can see the commands I used. I spawned in 1. There shouldn't be a pile of goo in the ground, and at first I thought it was the Raven, but no. The inventory marks it as belonging to another Legendary Bloatfly. Anyways, I've already tried this with Roar, Stripe, Gojira, Snuffles, and Prim Slim. The last two were babysitter runs. Snuffles and Prim Slim had to be kept alive at all times. Whereas for the other 3, and for today, not only do I have to manage their health, but I cannot engage in combat. Although, a little slap on the ass to initiate combat is allowed. Just like you're allowed to let me know which creature I should use or protect next. This format is fun, so I'll pay close attention to the top comments. And ladies and gentlemen, pets and plants, hydrate yourselves, sit back, relax, and get ready, cause the post-apocalypse begins now. There's only a select few items that I want to get. I got the buff out. It seems that the Bloatfly hovers a bit too high. It's not moving properly inside buildings. That's a problem that I did not anticipate. I will have to figure that out. I also got the sneak skill book and that sweet stealth boy. In the schoolhouse, the mantises came straight at me, and yep, I guess combat inside buildings is out of the menu. Chat buy some of the stuff I won't be able to use, and we're going north, baby!
Take it easy now.
Through Cazadors and into Quarry Junction. I really gotta put this bad boy to the test. I'll even bring it over to the Deathclaw Promontory later.
It's dangerous out here.
Yeah, it's dangerous for people that don't have a bestie that shoots plasma. Shut up, Victor, read the room, will ya? And so the Cazadors started going down, although the Bloatfly's a bit of a stormtrooper. Accuracy isn't its strong suit, and that gets me poisoned. A handful of Cazadors was enough to get me to level 2. I put the points into medicine and took the retention perk. I once again get stung, and as the rest of them go down, I reach level 3. Do the same thing, take the only anti-venom I got, and let's go fight some Deathclaws. They start dropping like flies. It's quite the sight to behold. Unfortunately, thanks to the Bloatfly's lack of marksmanship, I got a free hug. We take care of the rest of them. I chill in the Great Khan's encampment. Melissa says hi, and with the Legendary Bloatflies ready to take on Quarry Junction, I make the descent. Start collecting some eggs, and it seems that the Deathclaw Mother has godlike perception if you enter its den. She wasn't even close to us when I came down. Being a bit more strategic, I made sure to keep my distance. Lo and behold, not even the Deathclaw Mother stood a chance, so I'm gonna add an additional rule. I am not allowed to heal the Bloatfly. If it dies before the end credits, the challenge is lost. And as I'm collecting the goodies from the den, level 4 comes around. I keep improving medicine for better stimpaks and go with the educated perk. A super stimpack, 3 Deathclaw eggs, a mini nuke, and a fat man join my collection of Cazador poison glands and Deathclaw hands. I didn't see the Deathclaw alpha male making a beeline towards me, but fortunately, the Bloatfly did. That was a close call, and pretty much it for Quarry Junction. Approaching Sloan from its northern entrance gives Chomps a different line of dialogue.
Can't believe anyone actually made it through from the north, what with all the death claws at the quarry.
We tell him the good news that the quarry has been cleared, and in return we become accepted by the NCR and $500 richer. And here's Snuffles, she's a cutie. I pat her leg, this triggers level 5, and I'm gonna help them with their generator, so... After maxing medicine, I got repaired to 35 and dumped the rest of the points into sneak. Did the repairs and may as well get the 2 skill books, Dean's Electronics and fittingly, Duck and Cover, which the guy detecting me did immediately after getting up. I thanked him for the visual example and went on to give Jazz Wilkins a Deathclaw egg. We get the recipe to make more, I steal a bonus that I absolutely deserve for helping them with Quarry Junction. Tell Chomps that I helped them with another 2 things and start turning the oven in Victor's shack into a trophy cabinet. Now, we got plenty to do, but since I'm so close to Hidden Valley, that's gonna be our next destination. On the way, you either get approached by more than half a dozen red scorpions or just the one. I got just the one. And then I had a bright idea. Can you deal with a ranger before meeting the Brotherhood of Steel? Turns out, no. He hasn't spawned yet, but his journal is there, praising the location and hinting where we'll find him when he's not staring at the NCR Correctional Facility. You know who else didn't spawn? A ton of centaurs. Mo was in the crater, but only a couple were past it. Anyways, I got the Brotherhood Patrol holotape with the passwords, and I feel like going into Black Mountain. The Bloatfly seems to be stuck somewhere, and I noticed that I can travel through the fence since the door is so close to it. Not remembering if there were enemies inside, I just did a quick in and out. Got the key to visit Tabitha. The Bloatfly seems to have an invisible attachment, cause even sneaking, I cannot go under it. And this time it let me go around, but on the Hidden Valley bunkers, there's gonna be a couple attempts of entering and leaving. What usually works when that happens is to press the key to start walking as the game's still loading. I then tried provoking Tabitha into coming out, the Bloatfly's melting up the Nightkins, and Tabitha, she just won't come. Realizing I cannot save Raul just to hear Danny Trejo, I got me the sheet music book as a trophy and cherry on top. One of the Nightkin has a unique item, Annabelle. I know, I can't use it, but I can sell it later, and we're done here. The better part of Valor. That's the Brotherhood's passwords. Intrigued? They show up to see who's at their doorstep. And then they force me to strip tease.
I want you stripped down to your underwear.
And even though I gave them valuable intel that I found one of their patrols dead, these motherfucking tin cans still put an explosive collar around my neck. Which won't go away until we deal with the NCR Ranger for them. We chat for a bit, and my only option is to tickle him. Chunky boy, haven't seen me do the secret handshake, takes care of it. I hear the collar beeping and immediately turn back. McNamara is an idiot.
How do you know he won't be missed? That other rangers won't come looking for him?
I don't, nor do I care. And neither do they, cause having deemed me useful, they take the collar off and let me know that while they have a couple more gigs for me that I don't care about, I am finally free to leave. And I was leaving, but I was also thinking that you can't just put an explosive collar around my neck and then live to tell the tale. McNamara seems to have misplaced his keycards. I stole a handful of valuable goods, and as for Hardin and Taggart, let's just say that they won't have time to think about whether or not they've lost their keycards. Bit weird that they don't mind that I tinker with the terminal that generates the self-destruct password, and things escalate from 0 to 1000 when the self-destruct sequence is activated. That is what they get, and a jog later, the Brotherhood of Steel is no more. Back to the road north of Good Springs, and in Bunny Springs, the Bloatfly turns most of the Vipers into goo. I don't know where the second Viper leader was, the one with the unique weapon. Love and hate? Couldn't find her. With the path cleared, it's time to get slightly acquainted with another faction. Well, to be fair, we're only gonna be scouting up the place. In Red Rock Canyon, getting the map marker isn't enough. But only because for some unforsaken reason, that's not the trigger to tell Yes Man that you've met them. You gotta walk all the way near Jerry the Punk. That's it. That's the trigger. And on the distance is an NCR Ranger. It seems that my good deeds in Sloan have caught up to me. My prize is an emergency radio that I have no use for. The ranger then notices the fiends and goes for them. As for the bloatfly, now this was full-on stormtrooper mode, and it went on for a good while. How the fuck was it even possible? These aren't Fallout 4 ghouls doing their break-step routines. It's just a couple idiots running. I also remembered to slap Queenie on the ass, cause if she goes down before Cook and he realizes, he's going on a frenzy. By the time I noticed, he was already down though. I took his mantats and his metal armor. I used that to repair the reinforcement that I got from the Vipers. And from here until the Gunrunners won't be any more enemies. I did step on a mine though. I also passed by Camp McCarran, sold some stuff to the Vendortron, collected a couple map markers, like Freeside Skates, and on the way to our next destination, a herd of raw hamburgers got cooked to perfection. In Field's shack, I got another unique weapon, Abilene. And here comes George, the boomer that's not really part of the boomers.
Whoa there, pal.
He wants to make a bet. I don't. And right when I was about to bitch slap him, I got hit with level 6. I put the points into speech and took the toughness perk. The animation for the punch started even before the level up menu came. The bloatfly took swift care of it, and the boomers offered me a free sample of a bombardment. A bit of healing later, and I get to the gate. It seems that the boomer guard never heard of spending a couple steam packs as you run through the left hill. And Raquel's perfectly framed. Now that's what I love to see. They take me to their elder, Mother Pearl, who's thrilled to finally meet someone new. As if she wasn't the one whose orders made it the reason why she's been waiting a good 5 years. They are not just idiots. They are dangerous idiots, and I'm not gonna entertain them any more than I already did. Back in Freeside, and I just run to the Strip's north gate. Old Ben, he warns us not to get past the Securitrons without talking to them. We gotta pass the cap check, which I did. And as I was looking for the swatter so I could punch him and have the bloatfly join in on the Securitrons' fun, he ran past me.
Howdy, partner.
Victor insists that the first thing I should do is to visit Mr. House, and I oblige.
This meeting has been a long time coming.
He starts with a small talk, but then gets down to business. He's offering me 4 times the amount of the money to deliver him the platinum chip. Same job, new fee. I guess he doubled it for the troubles that I had back in Good Springs, the whole getting shot in the head bit. And then he doubled it again cause he's really not in the mood for being backstabbed by Benny. I accepted, took a nap, and outside an NCR trooper tells me that he has a message from Ambassador Crocker. I ignored it and visited Gamora. All we need to do is to talk to the greeter, and in the next section of the strip, Billy's got jokes.
It's hard to sleep in this place, I tell you. Last night, some girl was pounding on my door all night. Finally, I had to let her out. What?
He says it's a joke, and this only occurred to me after I recorded the whole thing, but I kinda need to figure out where he sleeps, and maybe check for skeletons. Hell, maybe a whole run as Billy Knight, making sure every single joke actually happens. Let me know if that sounds interesting for you. And to finish the upcoming wildcard side bets quest, in the Ultralux I go on to meet Mortimer and Marjorie. With that done, it's finally time to go and meet Benny.
What in the goddamn?
Now, there's 2 ways we can go about this. A machete fight, out in the open in the Legion's fort, after falling for the most obvious ambush in the world. The bloatfly would be in the open, I wouldn't even have to swing. However, the presidential suite has quite a height to it, you know? So I accept the private meeting, tell him to lose the bodyguards, that's enough for me to get to level 7, points to sneak, and he's curious.
Now that you and me's got some privacy, I gotta ask, how is it that you're still living?
Victor dug me out, Doc Mitchell patched me up.
House was on to me from word go?
And that last detail means he's gonna skip town no matter what. Even though I tell him that if he makes me an offer, we could work together.
You help me, and before long, the chairman will rule all of Vegas, dig?
I would've, if you could be trusted, but you can't, so... Yeah, the bloatfly turned Benny into a pile of goo. I got the platinum chip, his valuables, got to level 8, and took the 2nd rank of the toughness perk. In the 13th floor, near his bedroom, we find a whole Securitron that cannot say no. We get clued in, and I'm gonna tinker Benny's plan into something a bit more practical for me. Cause I want the legendary Bloatfly to reign supreme. Who needs an army of TVs on wheels when you got Chunky Boy? After leaving the tops, Vulpes shows up, all suited up and running errands for his sugar daddy. We have piqued Kaiser's interest. I'm not getting used to getting jewelry from Roman Empire cosplayers, or anyone else really. But fuck it, the fort's skippable and you'll understand why I wouldn't mind skipping it in no time. But I do have to do the trek to the promontory. And that is really close to Cottonwood Cove, so yeah, I'll go there. And since I'm on a roll, let's go back to the Lucky 38. I don't need the caps. Just gonna use the opportunity to deal with Robert Edwin right now. Using the platinum chip on the terminals lets you skip the 100 science skill check. And in the control room, it's time to bring everyone's favorite cyborg mummy out of his pod. Why? I can't punch him, cause he's not gonna aggro. I also can't point in his general direction in the hopes that the bloatfly will understand, so really gotta wait until the sound animation's over. That's the trick for the terminal to let you deactivate or kill Mr. House. And between those two, it seems that the most appropriate thing for this run is to simply disconnect him. Now, companions aren't usually allowed in the penthouse, but with this mod, if you force recruit someone, they will come. Because of that, when I go back, all of the Securitrons are aggroed. It makes no difference, cause we just have to make the run for it, although there usually isn't as many Securitrons by the console. I leave the Lucky 38 and the next part of the journey begins. From the NCR Sharecropper Farms until the 188 Trading Outpost, you won't encounter a single enemy. I make some money from the arms merchant and, right, Veronica. She has no clue of what happened to the Brotherhood, so I told her.
God, you're not lying, are you? You really did kill them. In that case, this is for them.
As she's trying her best to power fist me, the bloatfly once again misses a ton of shots. And so far I haven't seen it go for a melee attack. Eventually Veronica goes down. I thought she might have a unique weapon, but no, just 3 sporks? Okay, I then got the Eldorado substation map marker for later and not a single NCR ranger came up to me and told me to stay away from the control room. I then punched the boulder.
What the fuck are you doing? My brother died at the Battle of Hoover Dam. You're desecrating a war memorial.
Oh, you're a little bitch and your brother was too.
Oh, now it's on.
The legendary Bloatfly then does the unthinkable. She manages to disarm Private Kowalski. I know that I've been complaining about lack of accuracy, and even though that did me no favors, it was at least impressive. Private Kowalski then went on to visit his brother. I got a free guitar, slept for a bit, heard a couple traveling merchants fight against some more vipers, and I went southeast until I got to Camp Forlorn Hope. From here to the promontory, all it takes is to go down a hill, and there's an actual path to Lake Mead. No parkour needed. What was needed was tremendous amounts of patience. The bloatfly simply wasn't following me. I swam, and I walked, and I came back. It was a mess, man. But eventually, we both reached the entrance to the Deathclaw promontory. The first 4 Deathclaws got destroyed in no time. Not a single one of those had loot though. The legendary Bloatfly took care of another 2 to the left side of the entrance, and another 3 in the clearing to the entrance's right. I got to level 9, kept improving sneak, and saw the Deathclaws piecing themselves, so I got a bit closer and... right. If you stand on the hills, their pathing gets confused, but they will catch up to ya in no time. My bad. Oh, and then I lost count, cause at least 10 Deathclaws came straight at us. 2 Deathclaw mothers included. And not only did the Bloatfly took care of it, but the Deathclaws didn't nearly do as much damage as I thought they would. At the end, we got some more trophies, a set of T-51B power armor, and the unique Remnants power armor. No helmet for that one though. We also got some more eggs, and I was stubborn. Way too much. I didn't want to leave without getting Cottonwood Cove's map marker, even though I was over encumbered, so this took a while. As soon as I saw I had gotten it, I just used God mode to ignore the carry weight and dropped the trophies in the oven. Our collection is looking great. And speaking of collecting, I'm gonna go get Stimpaks now, from Doc Mitchell, Dr. Uzanagi, and Julie Farkas. Back to Cottonwood Cove, the Legion Explorer comes out of nowhere. He sees the Mark of Kaiser and tells us that Lucullus has been waiting. The rest is simple. I tell Lucullus to start rowing, the gate guy over at Fortification Hill tells me to start disarming. Then we finally get to meet the man that loves to list other people's achievements as if they themselves didn't know. He also goes on about his lifelong dream of feeling the ground shake. Returns the platinum chip to us, and in the weather monitoring station we also get our weapons and stimpaks back. By using the chip, we unlock the entrance to the Securitron vault, and I cannot count on the Bloatfly to defend me. All I can do is to rely on the toughness perk and to waste stimpaks. As for the generators that I intend to destroy, there is no skill check to do it. And in hindsight, yeah, I did say no combat allowed. So technically, I could shoot the generator. True. But it's also true that at the time I was just thinking, can't use guns. And that I can also destroy the Securitron army later. So I did end up upgrading the Securitrons to their Mark II. Back outside, we get to level 10, I took the Living Anatomy perk, and who's all happy and giggly?
I felt the ground shake a while ago.
Back to Yes Man, we tell him that Mr. Houses is out of the picture, and that it's time for him to join us at the Lucky 38. Although, the Securitrons are still aggroed. The Bloatfly takes care of the pair in the casino floor, and in the penthouse... I'll just show ya. A couple Securitrons came along, shooting. This is ridiculous! Anyways, Yes Man's all smiley and proud of himself. And when he goes on to install himself and take over the whole thing, I'm just stuck here, staring at two Securitrons that are choosing between shooting me or a Bloatfly. Yes Man engages with me, finally, and in dialogue, we decide to go over the Securitron upgrade demonstration. Now that he's the one in charge, the Securitrons finally stop tweaking. He then asked me if I wanted to help Kimball. I don't, and that the only thing that we need to do before the endgame is to install an override chip in the Eldorado substation. And Emily's so annoying! Shoo, leave!
Do you mind if I ask why?
I do. Bye!
Oh.
So I fast traveled to the substation, and once again, no one warns me not to go in, so I just do. I installed the chip, they aggroed, and I was getting ready for a fight, they just didn't come back out. Picking up on that cue, I went back to Yes Man, and it's finally time to test the Legendary Bloatfly against Lanius himself. In Hooverdam, we get to see a cool explosion. The NCR is too busy fighting the Great Khans and the Legion, and I just run until I'm in the offices. Remembering that I had more than 55 speech, I read a speech magazine and convinced the NCR heavy troopers to fuck off. Here, I installed the second and last override chip, so Yes Man can take over the dam.
We can blow up the dam's generators.
Yep, we're doing that. The NCR is not too pleased, and in the east side of the dam, the Bloatfly gets me enough experience for another level up. And then we finally get to the Legate's camp. The gate guard goes down almost immediately, and as for the other two, I had to run a couple laps. A certain plasma attack wasn't hitting its targets, eventually it did. Couple stimpaks later, and we're here.
An envoy of Vegas, yet you carry yourself for battle. If so, you cannot truly be of that city of cowards.
I want that mask, and to get it, I just have to get out of the way. I've never seen a run so one-sided. We've done it, and up next comes General Lee Oliver, doing the slowest of vlogs, going over pretty much every single swear word in the English language. Yes Man shows up with the only 3 Securitrons he could round. The cigar is a lie, and using a stealth boy and taking some turbo turned out to be a stupid decision cause it de-aggroed the Bloatfly. Knowing that the General and his man don't stand a chance against an invincible Yes Man, I just let it all play out. And so, can you beat Fallout New Vegas using only the Legendary Bloatfly? Gee, you tell me. As always, you can check the playlists for more challenges and the channel for more videos. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Steve Whittle and to John Walker for their support of the channel. And to you! So, thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, I hope I'll see you on the next one. And I hope you have a good one. Bye!
And I guess I'll see you around. We accomplished a lot together. It was fun. Take care.